Hey! Hey there! Today I'm gonna give you guys a quick summary of the recently concluded dev livestream. As always, Q&A section will be in a separate video later today. First, they address regarding the Ines Nerf review bomb that caused the game to become mostly negative. They understand the reasoning behind the uproar because Ines has become the ceiling for every content except the later stages of Void Erosion Purge and the recent Abyss boss. The decision was made mainly because making contents are increasingly becoming more difficult because of the Descendant gaps. Again, if they make a content that has a lower ceiling, Ines and now Serena can just brush through it. Making that ceiling as high as Ines would cause other Descendants to underperform. This is pretty understandable if you look at it with an open mind. Because of the uproar, the devs will now release statements in advance that would explain the reasoning behind the upcoming nerfs, and this includes Serena. Serena's nerf will not be immediate. The devs will still be looking into data and conduct internal investigation as to why new Descendants end up to be OP and why this has been happening lately. In turn, other Descendants will be balanced in a stepped approach. They still want to be careful with the balances to avoid overshooting and cause that Descendant to be OP instead. But for this to happen, the devs will need to rework some of their skills depending on the performance on the current and future contents. For the Void Erosion Purge, the devs removed the skill penalties while they decided to postpone the external component core update. I think that this is good because, as they've said, this is a supply without demand. We keep getting power-ups without anything that warrants us for the power-up except leaderboard clear times. But arcade tuning sockets will still push through on May. With that, let's talk about Ultimate Blair's story. His story isn't gonna be the same as the previous story. This time's going to be comical, showcasing a Descendant who got their ultimate power. The highlight will be seeing Blair keeping it lighthearted during Crisis compared to the others. For Blair's modules, the first one is called Killer Recipe. This changes his passive, first, second, and fourth ability. The passive ability gives Blair his passive buffs immediately with the addition of the skill power modifier. His first ability now fires a barrage of fireballs forward that has a small explosion radius with an increased damage instead of creating flame zones. Fire count also increases based on duration. His second ability now instantly recovers his mana if you have the Chef's Touch. Chef's Touch is acquired when you attack or defeating enemies with burn. Depending on how this works when testing, I can see problems already. His fourth ability now becomes similar to Sharon's fourth ability. You are not able to use the skill if you don't have the Chef's Touch buff. This has reduced damage too. His second module is called Next Level Arson. This changes his first and third ability. His first ability now creates fire zones as he moves, so this clearly synergizes with weapons that boost movement speed like what I used in my Blair build. His third ability now fires a fan-shaped flamethrower instead of a straight flamethrower that has 3 different levels of range depending on the range modifier you have. All I can say is, the Killer Recipe can be used against Void Erosion Purge mobs, while Next Level Arson will be my go-to mobbing module. I was already having fun with my previous Blair build, so this could be interesting. I already have a Blair build up, and just by looking at this, I will still have the same build with 1 or 2 minor tweaks. So if you want to prep, please watch this video. We will also be getting 5 new external components. First is a Fire Brand. This increases our skill effect range and decreases the enemy's fire resistance, but also decreases our movement speed. This can be used a lot in different ways, but first we need to understand if this is worth it all. I have a video talking about this. Next is called Plague Power. This is obviously going to be Killin and Freena's component. And yes, this is going to replace Slayer component because you can already see the HP stat on this component. And it has a significantly higher skill power than Slayer, but we might need to take into account the dispersing method. Next is the Enlightened Mage Power. And this replaces all Slayer component immediately for all non-attribute Descendants like Valby. This may even now be better against Hunter components strictly for Bubble Bullet. Next is the Moving Fortress 1. Nobody really cares about this for now because nothing warrants this, but this may result in fun meme builds later on, who knows. Last is the Shell Crusher. This one is interesting. This basically makes every weapon good against void shields like what Voltia does. But the 5% fire rate here is the most interesting one. Why? We talked about how 5% fire rate is better than even 400% weapon attack modifier in this video here. And I can already see this component replacing a lot of components like Acrobat, Polar Knight, and even Annihilation. I said it here first. With this, we can easily cap our fire rate to 90% with 3 fire rate cores plus fire rate up. And we know that fire rate increases exponentially the higher the percent is. Even 1% is relevant. Watch this video here for more information. For the modules, we have Elemental Resistance Battle Suit that essentially increases our EHP. Again, nothing warrants this for now. Veil Analyzer makes your weapon a budget faultia. As you've noticed, the devs also added a cool feature to the tooltip. Hopefully these are accurate though. Next, they added a challenger mode to Void Erosion Purge. This mode is an experimental attempt and is perfect for leaderboards because it's significantly harder than the previous stages. The rewards you earn from this is only obtainable once per Descendant. Not entirely sure what though. There will also be an honorary rewards for people within the top 100 that can be worn per season. This will be the medal system. Based on achievements, we will earn medals that can be shown off to people. Tiers and appearance change depending on the task achieved related to the medal. For the Reactor and external component growth system, it's not going to be similar to weapons, but instead, blue-colored rolls can now be upgraded up to gold rolls using materials. This gives us the option to either grind for materials or rely on luck to try to get gold rolls on our components and reactors. For the quality of life improvements, void shards will be removed, arc experience will be added for hard special operations, increased Descendant and weapon XP gained in Sigma sector while also adding the energy control material as a reward. Duplicate weapons will now carry over the core binder and level based on the main weapon, but not the core slots though. People who core duplicates will now have a refund as well. Serena may now have the option to hide wings and will only appear during skill activation. Filter will also be added to photo mode. Improvements for new players will be pushed as well. There will be additional quest guides, main quest streamlined by 40%, web guide integration, and you can now obtain Ultimate Bunny easily. Missions has also been adjusted and will now be more battle-oriented. Occupation and other time-gated missions have also been adjusted. These are the skins for April 17 and April 30. The events. And for the upcoming May update, the notable ones will be the arcade tuning sockets, Core Tense mutation, multi-hit cores into weapon options, inversion reinforcement presets and preset order change. They also showed us the Jiggle Physics. The next dev livestream will also happen on May 11th in PAX East. They mentioned that there will be a special announcement. That's definitely interesting. That's it for this one, guys. The Q&A will be uploaded shortly, so stay tuned. For now, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!